Shalom. All praise is due to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash. Double honors to the elect, apostle, bishops, elders at Great Millstone and Ruel. Shalom to elect Chaldea doing his work in sincerity and truth, and not for vainglory in season out of season. Shalom to the men, women, sons, and daughters of the nation of Israel, which are the elect men, women, sons, and daughters of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans scattered to the four corners of the earth. There's another basic scriptures. Let me bring this out. Okay, this is Ecclesiasticus, which is the book of Sirach, 14th chapter and the 5th verse. It says, "He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good?" Let me read that again. He that is evil to himself, which is the so-called white man. You have so-called white man. Matter of fact, yeah, let's get it. Let's go and get it. Revelations 11th chapter and the 8th verse. 8th verse. It says, "And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is America." All right. Was that it? No. 11 and 18. My bad. But I'm going to read this. "And their dead bodies," which is 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You're dead because you don't know the truth, okay? You're into every philosophy under the sun. You believe in Islam. You atheists. You believe the Lord is a so-called white man. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And because you're not physically dead, but you're spiritually dead. "And the dead body shall lie in the street of the great city, which is America, which spiritually is called Sodom in Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified." Right, because our Lord was crucified. Who's our Lord? Yahweh Shai. And he's crucified by being shown as a so-called white man and not as a so-called black man. Okay, but it's the 18th verse. That's what we're meant to go. It says, "And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth." And read that again. "And shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth." See, that's Esau destroying the earth. So he's destroying the same earth that he has to live on. For what? For wickedness' sake, and also for riches. He uses all kind of chemicals to get the gold out of the ground. He puts all the plastic, all right, in the seas just to make people sick so that they can buy his pharmaceutical drugs. He has factories that gets gas, oil out of the earth, and the factories, they pump toxic smoke into the air, all for riches, so he's doing evil to himself. He's doing it to the people, but he's doing it to himself too, because you still got to breathe the same air. The international banking small hat wearers, the wicked elite, they got to live on this earth too, along with the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans, and the heathen nations, and the peon so-called white people. But they doing it just to get riches for their for their wicked purposes. You know, they're putting chemtrails in the air. The chemtrails go where he lives at too, to break down your immune system. So, you know, when they bring out the diseases, your immune system can't fight it. You know, so they're doing the same shit on the earth that they have to live on. I mean, this is what the so-called white man does. But Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is going to destroy them because he's destroying the earth. And by the way, the earth abideth forever, just like the scriptures say. You know, but he's going to destroy them. That's one of the many reasons why the so-called white man is going to be destroyed and put in slavery under Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai and the nation of Israel, which are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. Okay, so let's go back to the book of Ecclesiasticus, which is the book of Sirach. Okay. You know. (14 and 5). 14th chapter, 5th verse. He that is evil to himself. See, Esau's evil to himself. The so-called white man, which is Esau, is evil to himself. You know, he's doing all this evil in the earth, right? But then he's living on the same earth he's doing evil to the earth on. You know? So there's no good in the so-called white man. There's no good in him. You know? There's no light in him to do righteousness. He's all about being evil, man. He's all about being wicked. There's nothing but wickedness and evil in his spirit. That's it. He was created for that. Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai created him to be evil and wicked. Now we know Eve means ill. Excuse me, Eve meaning time and ill meaning bad. That's all the so-called white man creates on the earth. Bad times. So he's evil to himself. So how is the so-called white man good? What has he done that is good? You know, you got certain people make videos on YouTube and TikTok, and they kind of, you know, go into what the white man has done in the earth. You know, all of the evil things he's done, all the bad times he's done. And then you got so-called white people talking about, oh yeah, the white man gave us civilization and the white man invented all these things. Man, don't you know your cell phone is all fucked up? Okay? Putting radiation in your brain. Don't you know wearing Bluetooth headphones is all fucked up? There's nothing the so-called white man has done is good. All he's done is been evil and destroying the earth that he has to live on. Okay? He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? There's a question mark there. Who is he going to be good to? He ain't going to be good to nobody. That's why he has to go down. That's why the so-called white man, well, that's one of the reasons why the so-called white man is going into slavery under the righteous power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Because he's evil, man. All he does is bring death and destruction. That's why the scriptures say, when the wicked are in authority, the people mourn. Who's the wicked? The so-called white man. Okay? He's no good for nobody. Okay? Let's go into a little bit more. Habakkuk 2 and 4. All right. Like I said, these are basic scriptures. All right. Behold, his soul, who's the his? It's Esau, the so-called white man. Edom, the so-called white man, which is lifted up, is not upright in him. See? There you go. He doesn't have a righteous soul. He doesn't have a good soul in him, a good spirit in him. Okay? He's evil spirited, man. He has an evil, wicked soul. Okay? There's nothing upright about the so-called white man. It's all wickedness with him. You know? You got men with men, women with women, women over men. You know what I'm saying? Abortion clinics. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. GMO foods that don't give you any nutrition. Why? Because you want to make money off his pharmaceutical drugs? Okay. You know? So this is the so-called white man we talking about. And that's why he's going into fucking slavery under the righteous power Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh created this earth through his son Yahweh Shai and the other angels to abide forever, man. To live in righteousness. Because Yahweh is a righteous power, man. Okay? It's not so long that the so-called white man going to be able to do all this evil in the earth, man. Hope you've been edified, and with that, shalom.